70 years ago, Korea was in a very different place. June 25th, 1950, the Korean War broke out, plunging the peninsula into chaos. The war left the country in ruins and excruciating poverty, leaving behind countless people who lost their family members and homes. It will take 100 years for South Korea to recover from the war, Douglas MacArthur, the commander of the UN forces during the Korean War, grimly addressed. But against all odds, in just half a century, Korea rose from the ashes of war and became one of the world's top 10 economic powerhouses. This astonishing economic growth is what people call the miracle on the Han River. How did Korea achieve such marvelous development in just 50 years? Hello, I'm Peter Bind. Today I'd like to discuss one of the driving forces behind the miracle on the Han River, ODA. Official Development Assistance, or ODA, may sound unfamiliar, but when you look into its meaning, it's not that unfamiliar after all. ODA is a type of aid provided by government and public organizations to promote the economic development and social welfare of developing countries. As a form of development cooperation, ODA represents a country-level commitment to address various challenges like poverty, food security, and environmental issues for a better future. Let's go back to the beginning. How did ODA make the miracle on the Han River possible?
감격의 그날 1945년 8월 15일 3천만 우리 민족은 감격에 벅찬 가슴을 안고 힘찬 조국의 번영을 다짐했습니다.
In the 1950s, Korea was one of the poorest countries in the world, its landscape devastated by a 3-year-long war. However, assistance from the international community ushered in a wave of hope for the impoverished nation. With generous support from around the globe, Koreans reconstructed their broken roads, rampaged schools, and rebuilt their homes into places complete with warm beds and hot meals. Following its independence in 1945, Korea received approximately $12.7 billion in ODA through to the late 1990s. The US and other nations even mobilized an impressive $3 billion to provide emergency relief and economic support to Korea after the war. With the support of the international community, Korea achieved rapid industrialization and continued growth. By 1996, just 40 years after the war, Korea had lifted itself from the ashes and reached the remarkable milestone of becoming a member of the OECD. This extraordinary transformation would never have been possible without ODA. Another historical milestone for Korea came in November 2009, when the OECD Development Assistance Committee decided to approve Korea's membership. With this, the country officially withdrew from the list of aid recipients and became a donor country. Korea is the first example of an aid recipient transitioning to a donor since the emergence of ODA.
OECD의 입장에서 볼 때 수원국, 그러니까 원조를 받는 나라가 공여국, 원조를 주는 나라로 전환한 첫 케이스가 된다고 할 수 있습니다.
Since then, Korea has rapidly expanded its ODA budget and programs. In 2018, the country's ODA budget surpassed 3 trillion won for the first time. The scale of Korea's ODA more than doubled in just a decade, from 1.3 trillion won in 2010, its first year as an OECD DAC member, to 3.4 trillion won in 2020. The Korean government plans to allocate 6.3 trillion won to its ODA program in 2024, the largest expansion in the country's history. Then what are some ODA projects led by Korea since it became a donor? Since President Yoon Suk-yeol took office, Korea has been actively fulfilling its role as a global pivotal state by addressing global challenges such as climate change, digital transition, pandemic prevention, and food security. This is in line with the third comprehensive strategy for international development cooperation and the strategic plan for official development assistance under the Yoon administration. The government has pledged to increase Korea's contributions and ODA in various sectors on multiple international platforms, such as the UN General Assembly, the G7 Summit, and the Korea-ASEAN Summit. Korea's contributions to humanitarian aid have been particularly noteworthy. During the 2023 Turkey-Syria earthquake, Korea swiftly dispatched its largest disaster relief team of 152 people, successfully rescuing 8 survivors. In July 2023, a similarly sized Korea disaster relief team was sent to Quebec, Canada, to assist with wildfire suppression efforts for a month. The country's commitment to humanitarian aid is further reflected in its rapidly growing ODA budget allocation. The 2023 budget for humanitarian aid was 403.6 billion won, 20 times higher than that of 2011. The budget for 2024 grew even larger, allocating approximately 900 billion won. Korea has initiated multiple ODAs across a variety of fields. Following are some noteworthy projects. One exemplary project is the LG Koika Hope TVET College in Ethiopia. Marking its 10th anniversary since its opening in 2014, the college offers cutting-edge technology training in electronic and electric engineering and IT at no cost to students. From 2014 to 2022, the college has produced 400 graduates, boasting an impressive 100% employment or entrepreneurship rate. Another unique aspect of this institution is priority for descendants of Korean War veterans during the application process. This practice honors the young Ethiopians whose ancestors fought for Korea by investing in their future, adding a special meaning to the project. Next is the Climate Change Response Project in El Salvador. El Salvador's farming industry has been grappling with multiple issues due to climate change, such as droughts, landslides, and groundwater depletion. From 2012 to 2015, the eastern part of the country suffered agricultural losses of approximately $250 million due to a 4-year drought. In response to these challenges, Korea launched the Climate Change Response Project to secure reliable water sources in El Salvador. Starting in 2017, the project focused on developing water sources and installing repair systems in San Miguel and Morazán.
Cantón Juan Llanes pertenece a Ulazapa. El proyecto de este riego, pues yo creo que nos va a traer muchos beneficios porque mejoramos la alimentación, también buscamos comercializar y es la esperanza de comer, digamos, hortalizas en verano porque no lo hacíamos.
This allowed the region to save up to 100,000 litres of water and transition from a single annual harvest, a consequence of climate change, to a biannual cycle. The final example is the Integrated Rural Development Project, IRDP, in the Kyrgyz Republic, which commenced in 2021. Prior to this ODA initiative, 29% of poverty-stricken people of Kyrgyzstan lived in Osh and Batken. More than half of the residents in the 2 southern regions, far from the capital, lacked access to basic infrastructure. Additionally, the 2 regions were not well suited for agriculture. Through the IRDP, Korea built essential infrastructure such as roads and public health centers while sharing its rural development experiences. As a result, the residents enjoyed a notable improvement in access to basic infrastructure and agricultural output. Korea's ODA journey is unique, having transitioned from a recipient to a donor country. November 25th holds symbolic importance for Korea in this context. On this date in 2009, Korea became the 24th member of the OECD's DAC, with unanimous approval by DAC members. To commemorate this historic milestone, Korea designated November 25th as Development Cooperation Day, hosting various events annually. This year's Development Cooperation Day is packed with engaging activities featuring a civil society forum and diverse side events. This celebration is a perfect opportunity to witness Korea's journey from its history to its contemporary achievements. That is all for today's session. We look forward to sharing more stories about Korea's diplomatic policies in our next update.